That's the last thing you expect.
Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend? What did you do?
Absolutely.
What about you, Dion?
I got rid of the kids.
Got what?
Rid of the kids?
My wife kids, son came in from Germany about 2 months ago. They've been with us for like 2 months.
Oh,
Can
okay.
they go back now?
Now they got their own house now.
Good. Where they living?
It's, in Harvest.
Okay.
Not too far from us.
If they were just straight.
Good morning, Decatur. School is back in session and fall is just around the corner. While our case numbers are beginning to steadily fall, it's important to follow what Judy Smith always tells us. Judy Smith from the Health Department always remind us to wear a mask, social distance, and sanitize. Today with me, we're going to have Morgan County Commissioner Chairman Ray Long. Welcome. Decatur Morgan Hospital, Kelly Powers. Welcome. And also not sitting with us so that we can maintain 6-foot social distance is State Representative Terry Collins. Municipal updates, don't forget, currently Morgan County COVID-19 cases sit at 2,620. That's another week of less than 5%, with a less than 5% increase in cases. So that means we're leveling out and starting to decrease. City Hall operations, please reach out to the department you have business with first. Many trips can be saved with a phone call or email correspondence. Don't forget to complete your census. If you haven't already done so, please complete your census at my2020census.gov. That's my2020census.gov. Also, don't forget to check on your neighbors, especially those elderly ones. Call someone in your neighborhood and check on them today. We will begin with discussing with Chairman Long. Chairman Long here is with us, and he has some reports from the county. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Chief. Always good to be here. Everything's rolling good in the county. Like I say, the numbers are real encouraging. Anytime you see that only a 5% increase, that means that we're going in the right direction. I believe the mask has a lot to do with it. You know, people are staying on board with us, washing their hands, the social distance, and, you know, all of that stuff plays into it. You know, we in order to get this thing to go down further, we've all got to stay on the same page, and we got to continue working and doing what we know is best. You know, it's a personal decision. We shouldn't have to have people tell us to do it. We ought to do it just because we know it's the right thing to do, and the numbers here are a clear indication to show that the masks are working and the social distance. You know, everything at the county courthouse doing good. We still encourage everybody to get your tags and your driver's license online if you can. We have people stand outside. The lines are not as bad as they have been, but maybe, you know, nearly everything that you do at the courthouse, unless you come to court or something, pay a fine, you can really do online. And we really encourage people to do that. Like I say, there's no extra fees if you buy your tag. We done away with those back in, I think, April or March. And so you can go online and buy your tag and not even worry about standing in line. Driver's license, if you don't have any changes, you can go online and do those, and just so many things you can do online. And so we just encourage our citizens to keep calling in, going online, and taking care of your business. Now, we welcome you at the courthouse anytime you want to come. If you don't have a mask, you should have a mask, Chief. Everybody should have one. But if you don't have one, when you get to the door, we have people on the first and second floor entrance that's there. It's going to offer you a mask when you come in to make sure that everybody has one. You know, we've been real fortunate at the courthouse. Of all the employees we have there, we've only had 2 employees in the whole courthouse to have the COVID-19, and we've been just real fortunate. I mean, that's since the thing started. So the mask, I think's doing it. We got plenty of sanitizer for people to keep there. We got glass barriers up. So we're doing all we can to protect our employees and the citizens, and it seems to be working. So just keep up the good work. Let's get them numbers on down a little further, and you know, let's try to fight this thing together. And you know, it won't last forever. We know nothing lasts forever. There's going to be a vaccine for this thing probably the next 3 or 4 or 5 months maybe, and then we can hold on to these things and say this is our souvenir from 2020. But other than that, everything seems to be going good. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chairman Long. Also, I have to reiterate what he said. Remember to social distance, sanitize, and wear a mask for right now. Next we have with us is Decatur Morgan Hospital President Kelly Powers. Kelly, welcome.
Thank
and I
you.
understand you're on week 2?
Week 4.
Week 4. Look at
Yeah,
us, week 4.
week 4.
We appreciate you and everything that you and the hospital do for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everybody know this morning we have 22 inpatients that are positive with COVID-19. 5 of those are in the ICU, 4 on ventilators. We have 9 patients who are presumptive under investigation, meaning we sent their test out and haven't obtained the results yet. We have had 24 positive employees and 29 employees that are currently quarantined. We are seeing the numbers. I think we were down to 19 last week, so we had a few come in over the weekend to get us back to 22. But I agree with everything that's already been said. We need to continue to do what we're doing to keep these numbers down, mainly wearing your mask and social distancing. I do want to let the community know that our ER is open and available, both Parkway and Decatur's emergency room. So if you have an emergency, please come to the emergency room. We are maintaining everything that we need to do with the CDC requirements to, wear masks, social distance, and all of that there as well for our visitors. But please don't let an emergency, happen and you not get the appropriate treatment that you need. So I just want to let the community know to do that.
Thank you so very much, Kelly,
Thank
and
you.
welcome once again.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate everything that you all do.
Thank you.
Now to my left again, State Representative Collins. We really appreciate having you on board, and she's going to talk to us a little bit from the state perspective on the virus and where we're going.
Thank
you for being here.
It's good to be with you. I actually checked this weekend with Dr. Harris with the Public Health and with the Governor's Office just to see if I had the most recent updates, although I think everybody's getting news so quickly these days. But it is looking much better. We're trending in the right direction. A lot of times the trend is what you're looking at. But hospitalizations have gone down from like 1,600 average down to below 1,000 statewide. So that's excellent. That's what we're doing, which also reminded Public Health and the Governor's Office said, remember, it's also time to get your flu shot. So don't forget that, because I think that's been a part of the concern all along, was that if COVID-19 numbers stayed high, and then the flu kicked into a regular pattern, that our hospitals would be overrun. So testing has really slowed down. Some of that is the supply chain. We're starting to see, and I don't know if you're out shopping at all, but the supply chain is kind of slowing down everywhere. And so hopefully we'll get that back. But declines were across the board in the speed of the spread. At one point we were way over 2,000 a day in the state, and now we're less than 1,000 per day, which is good. I mentioned the hospitals, but to me, one of the most encouraging trends was that our percent of tests that are positive has decreased from, at one time, a high of about 17% to about 7% right now. And I just heard earlier in Morgan County, we're closer to 5%. So that's all wonderful, wonderful news. I think seeing those trends go from the Governor's Office, I know a lot of people are wondering by the end of the week what she's going to say as far as safer at home, but I don't really see a change. I think common sense would tell you you are safer at home. And then I would think also common sense would tell you stay out of someone's face and their breathing area. Wear your mask. Use good hygiene when you're out and when you're home. Those are good things, and that's all a part of her order. I think masks, we're seeing a difference. If you want my personal opinion, this is not the Governor's Office, but this is my understanding after speaking with them, is that we know we had a peak after 4th of July. I think if we don't hit a similar peak after Labor Day, 2 weeks from Labor Day, then you may see at the end of September a change in that safer at home order somehow. But right now we seem to be trending in the right direction, so I don't see any changes of that. I also want to reiterate that if you have not filled out your census form, that is our priority right now. They have actually moved up that date, and it means the difference in federal money. It means the difference in congressional representation. It means the difference in so many things that are so important for Alabama. And so that is what I would love to, instead of are you wearing your mask, I would love for a few weeks us to be saying, have you filled out your census form? And say that to your neighbors. Check on your elderly and ask them about their census form, because since it's online, that might be more challenging for them. But I am glad to be with you today. I'm really glad that our numbers, even statewide, are looking good, but especially in Morgan County. And then the last thing, and I think it's been on everyone's mind too, is what will all the kids going back to school mean? I want to thank Decatur City and Morgan County and Hartselle for actually offering in-person school. I've heard from a lot of the teachers and the students, everyone's really being good. It's almost like, please let us stay in school. They're wearing their masks, they're social distancing, they're all doing a great job. And I know that to be the best form of education is one student with a teacher. So I was encouraged. The public health will have another conference call on the toolkit, safety toolkit this afternoon from 1 to 3. And so they are continuing to work closely together to make sure that we keep all of Alabamians safe. So thank you for having me, Chief.
Thank you, Representative Collins. We really appreciate you being with us here today. From a police perspective, just keep in mind, we want to show our appreciation to the citizens of Decatur and matter of fact, of Morgan County. We've received a lot of support. There's been a lot of conversation about the mask, but most of all, most people are wearing the mask, and when we ask someone to put on a mask, they do. So we really appreciate that support. Remember, the masks are the ones, the thing that's helping us to actually cut down on the virus spread. Also, don't forget about Labor Day weekend coming up, and be sure to social distance, wear a mask on it. We do not want our numbers to go back up. And the last thing from a police perspective, don't forget about back to school traffic. There are some school systems open up across the state now. Decatur City School and Hartselle schools have been open for the last couple of weeks. And we want to make sure that those who are traveling through school zones, remember the kids are out there during the morning and afternoon time for school. So be sure and watch out for them. Do we have any questions? Okay, with no questions, we want to thank you all for joining in. Remember, our next press conference will be Monday, August the 31st at 10 a.m. So thank you and have a great week.